What's up, guys, and welcome to the mid.
You good,
I'm
bro?
sorry, it just made me laugh because when I counted the mid year midnight channel awards, I was like, it sounds like I'm saying that the games are mid. Like
Mid,
I'm giving,
yeah.
I'm giving an award for the most mid game, and I'm like, that wasn't my intention, but like I really like. It just made me laugh so hard.
Maybe change it to half year award.
Yeah, we're still late.
Yeah.
We're already late. What's up, guys? How's it going? So with me, you guys can hear. We have two special guests today. I'll say my co-host because I always bring Devil May Pie for these videos. How's it going, man? How are you doing?
Good, man. Always a pleasure. Always love talking about current games and games of the year. So glad to be here.
I appreciate it. And we also have special guest Riku. What's up, man?
What's going on? Thanks for inviting me to the podcast, man. Happy to be here.
Of course, it's been quite a year so far for games. People ask me all the time, why do you make half why do you make a video half in the middle of the year, like the mid year? But the reason is I just feel like there's too many games. When I'm doing like my end of the year, I typically forget like games from from January. Like I completely forget like January games or like February. I always forget them. So I'm like, okay, so this will be a good way to kind of, like talk about the games so far. It's been quite a bit of like a good chunk of good games so far. So I feel like we can at least talk about different games and everything like that. But yeah, how are you guys doing today?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
Yeah, just chilling. Just had some dinner and yeah, just good to hang out. I think you brought up a good point of because by the end of the year we forget about the early games. We like have recency bias. We only talk about the fall games, so it's nice to to recognize some of the games that came out early in the year that we kind of forgot about.
Yeah, that's always my intention here, and of course, guys, if you guys see that we're gonna have different polls throughout the pretty much the rest of the stream. Every period of time we're gonna give an award. The first award is gonna be who is the waifu of 2022. Obviously, the first part. So if you guys wanna vote there at some point, we wanna call the winner here and give an official award for her. And I want to do that same thing with the rest of different awards as we move on and everything. So yeah, I guess we'll be starting here with January 2022. We had quite a bit of games starting. I think the month started pretty strong. Was there any games that you guys checked out in the month of January?
For me, I checked out Monster Hunter Rise on PC. I have it on Switch, but I was able to get a review code for the PC version. And it's basically the Switch version. It just looks better and runs better. And I think it's great. However, I already had like 100 hours in Switch, and there's no cross progression. So I don't play that version that much. It's still good.
Yeah, that I really consider that, but I also had the same kind of like situation. I'm like, well, like what if it comes out for PlayStation? And then at that point, I really want to play it on PlayStation. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm just gonna wait a little bit. I know they do updates pretty often, and they do like new things and everything. So maybe by the time they do the big update that they do for like whatever thing they're gonna do next, I'll get it. But so. Good game. Did you like it so far on PC? It was great.
Yeah, PC version. It was pretty good. I'm not like a mouse and keyboard kind of gamer, so I use like controller. So it was pretty much identical to me playing on like a console. But I still think like the game is just extremely good. I really like Monster Hunter Rise. I think it's probably my favorite game. I played Rise and World, and Rise is just so good. I love the new mechanics and just PC having it more fluid. That just is awesome. But like I said, no cross progression, no cross platform play, so I just couldn't really devote a ton of time into it.
Understandable. I think that's the problem with games like that. Like they should always be cross progression. Those kind of games. I feel because there's so much investment into these kind of games. It's not like it is a lot of time, and not even that. But like I said earlier, they have like so many things going on. Like they'll do specific events for a specific amount of time. I remember when I was playing the World, they had like this really cool Horizon Zero Dawn event, and I missed it. And I'm still to this day still angry that I missed it because I wanted the bow and the outfit and everything. So like
Yeah,
there are things that I'm like, yeah, I can see why people like don't want to like put the investment of like playing the same game twice, because it takes some time. So I totally understand that.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So the first game that I played in January myself was the Pokemon Legends Arceus game on Switch. Came out on January 28th. Um, that game honestly took me by surprise. I was kind of like very cautiously optimistic about it, but be honest, I didn't really particularly like Sword and Shield, so I was like, oh man, is it gonna suck? Like, what's gonna be with this game and everything? But I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. There's a lot of mechanics that reminded me of. Legend of Zelda. I know it's like the cliche right now. Not every time that you see a Nintendo open world game, but it honestly felt pretty good. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I'm willing to admit. But yeah, it's Pokemon. It's Pokemon with like a twist, I guess, if you will. But nonetheless, I thought it was a pretty enjoyable game. Did any of you play that game?
No, I'm not. I'm not a big Pokemon person anymore. I haven't played Pokemon in a while, but looks cool though. It's different than a mainline game, right? It's more like I don't know, not like turn based battles.
Yeah,
I guess
it was
it's
still turn
more like an
based.
adventure. It's more like an adventure game.
It was still a turn-based game. What they did is basically, you know that what is that game called? Darwin Quest 11. You know what they did with like some of the battles and have you played? Have
You
you
can
played
kind of
Darwin
move
Quest?
around a little bit.
Yeah,
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 I played a little
basically.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, like a lot of those aspects reminded me of Dragon Quest 11 a lot. Basically, the goal is still basically like capturing Pokemons and everything, but you have a journal and you have to do specific things. It's not just catching Pokemon, but it's like seeing specific attacks or a specific evolution or using a specific Pokemon to defeat another type of Pokemon with a specific type, or like there's a lot of things like that. So it's a good way to kind of teach new players to like play the game, but also a good way to force players to like discover Pokemons or like different ways to play Pokemon, if you will. It had a lot of interesting stuff. What it didn't have was the typical gyms. Like you don't go
Mm.
to a gym and like fight or anything like that. It basically what it did it had legendary Pokemon, not legendary as in like the legendary Pokemons, one of it's like mythical Pokemons, if you will, in the wild, and then you go and like have like this hack and slash type of a game. Like you're basically shooting at them, and you have dodging and everything, almost like Dark Souls in a sense. Like they're attacking you and like
Oh
doing
yeah, I
like
know what you're talking
speed
about. Yeah.
attacks and everything, and like you're dodging and like attacking at the Pokemon. And when they go down, you initiate a actual battle with the Pokemon, and you it has a massive health bar again, like Dark Souls, and every time that you fight it, it goes down, and then like you will go probably fight it like 3 times, but at the same time there's like a roll of running and like shooting and like a bunch of stuff like that. So it was very interesting. That to say the least, I think is one of the most interesting mechanics that they have added in a game like this. Like I know something I've never seen before on a Pokemon game, and I don't know. I thought it was cool, but I don't know if it was like if it's like a mechanic that will work for like the rest of the Pokemon series or anything like that. But it's certainly like something different, and I like that. Um, I don't know. I like the game, but I heard people even mention that it was hard because of like that, like boss encounters and that kind of stuff. That was like easily the best part for me. I thought it was like the most genius, like or interesting part that they had it so far. But yeah, I guess any other games on January that we want to talk about or anything.
I have one. That month. I was like playing catch up. The only game I played from this release is the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection, which it's a re-release. It's pretty much a PS5 upgrade. I think it's like $10 if you already own the game. So I pretty much just replayed the Lost Legacy for funsies. So it's slightly nicer looking, runs a little smoother, 60 frames and everything, but it's not like anything mind blowing. Naughty Dog games always look great, anyways. But yeah, that was a nice little collection if you never played some of the Uncharted games.
Yeah, that was a big jump for Sony. That was a big move, having the Uncharted games on PC. I think that's one of those I was like, oh, okay, they're now putting these games, because previously it was like, okay, this game I can see, or this other game, but really like seeing Uncharted on PC, I think that was like a big move for them.
For sure, a big deal.
Sorry, was somebody else going to say something else?
That's all I played for January, basically. Monster Hunter Rise.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to move up into the second month, which is February.
Big month.
Big month. It was a massive month. I played a ton of games. And I guess who wants to start?
The first game I remember playing, because based on release date and some of us got to a chance to review, was Monarch. That was in February as well.
Yeah, that is true. That was it was, for me, it was kind of crazy because I was juggling like multiple games. So the Life is Strange Remastered Collection came out. I played that. That was just on my own time and everything. I'm a huge Life is Strange fan. The collection is basically, I think a lot of fans wanted for that. So that was that. Monarch. That was a game that we got as a review code, I believe. What did you think of that game? We dunked in it quite a bit at that time.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about it. It has like some really cool ideas. Battle system was fun. Some of the music was really great, but everything else, as far as like story, presentation, lack of side content, or just pretty much trying to progress through the game, it's very monotonous, and I don't know. Yeah. It's calling it mid too mean. I think that's kind of too mean, right? It's like it's fine. It's not gonna like blow your mind, but it's cool.
Yeah, I think it had like good ideas. Riku, did you play this game as well?
I did not. I was kind of interested in it at first, but after a while, I just kind of was like, I'm just not going to get it. So,
totally understandable. Yeah. So Monarch is interesting because, so for some of you that are not, like, don't know, Monarch is made by, or touted to be made by some of the people behind games like Shin Megami Tensei, Shin Megami Tensei Eve. So a lot of people were interested what this group of people will do, out of Atlas, and Monarch came out to be something else because it does have an interesting like plot. Like I don't want to say like it was like a really good plot, but at least it kept me entertained. The problem is it's a game that it falls short on things like the gameplay, the storytelling isn't like superb either. Like you will think like, because of the way that they are doing the storytelling, it's almost like archaic, because you can do it in any different there's like different ways to do the story. I didn't even know that. I thought I was just doing it, I'm just doing it my way, but you can do it any other way. You can do any dungeon first in any direction, and you can do things in like multiple ways and everything, and it's still the same story. It's just that they allow you to pick and choose what you want to do first and everything. You can have different party members, but the problem with having different party members is almost like in Persona 1, but it basically ties you to that party member for like a particular ending. So if you want to be able to finish and get the true ending, you have to replay after a certain point with different characters in your party. So we're talking about asking for 5 replays so you to get the true ending. And I think for a game like this, that it doesn't really justify like that, like 40 hours of gameplay, like 50 hours, I'll say. It really it's like a big ask. We were talking earlier about like games that ask like a big thing for you to like get good or something like that. This game is definitely like overstaying its welcome and trying to push you into.
It doesn't earn its runtime. It like kind of like, just because all right, we need to fill up the time, so we're gonna do all these cycles going through like all these different characters. They're not called palaces or schools or whatever. I forgot what you call them.
Yeah.
Like they have their own little sections, and you repeat them.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of grind for a game like this. Yeah. It is actually only like, I'll say maybe like three, not three, maybe like 3 to 5 battles per dungeon. The
Yeah,
rest of the
it's some
time is
big dungeons. Yeah.
yeah. The rest of the time is just you actually having to go out of your way to grind, because you don't know how much with the level of like the next. And there's a big jump on level, like between like one part and then like the later parts of the game is such a big like jump on, like, oh man, you have to like really put more time and effort into that to be able to beat the game. Like, it really asks you too much. But anyway, overall, I like you said, I don't think it's a mid game, but I do think it's kind of mediocre in a sense. I think like a 7 or like 6 is like a good score for it. I don't remember where I put it, but in retrospective, if I give it more, I was probably more hyped at that time. I don't know, but I think I gave it like a 7 or a 6. So I don't know. Anything else on Monarch?
No, maybe catch it on the sale.
All right. Well, another game that I played on February was Dying Light 2: Stay Human. I don't know what to say about this game. It's good, but it's also not good. Like, the story is incredibly mediocre. The characters are incredibly boring. But the gameplay is super fun. Like, it's one of those games, like, you would just want to play it for the gameplay, and that's it. But everything else is kind of like really sucking. And it has terrible performance. Like, the fact that this game came on the Switch, like, it's like, I don't know why it will come on the Switch, because the PS5 this game ran like complete ass. So like, I don't know. I don't know how it even ran on the Switch. Like, did it catch on fire? I have no idea. But the game was just a dumpster fire overall. Like, and I loved the first game. I really enjoyed that first one, but it wasn't a game that I would say like, oh man, everybody needs to run now and play it. I don't know. I haven't touched it since February because, again, there was so many other games. So yeah, I mean, that was my experience with Dying Light 2. Did you guys play that game?
I have not. I'm not really into Dying Light as a series in general.
Yeah, it's another zombie game, right? The mechanic of it is just really how polished the running, and like you go running between different buildings and do parkour and all that stuff. That's the big thing about the game. But other than that, honestly, you can only parkour for so long, like, before it becomes like monotone and boring and not really like a fun mechanic. Other than that, you can't just make a game around that. And I at least I haven't played a game that just has one good mechanic, because everything else just kind of falls apart. So another game, I did not play Sifu in February, but it is a February game.
Yeah, we can talk about it. I didn't play it till a couple months later as well.
Yeah. So I skipped Sifu right away because I'm gonna be very honest. I did not want to pay full price for the game. I didn't think that it deserved the $40 price tag. I just thought it was an interesting game that I wanted to play in the future. But I was right. I think it's good, but I don't think it's worth $40. It's way too short. Even if you're not really good at the game, if you like practice enough, I think it's still fairly easy to beat. How long did it take you to beat?
It just depends. Like you can't really count the full run because of all the death and retries. Exactly. So probably like a 15-hour game, I would say. After all said and done, and yeah, I was kind of with you when it came out. I was too busy playing something else, and I was like, I don't want to pay full price for this. And I eventually got it on. I think I got it from CD Keys. I was playing on my PC. Like, actually, all the mods got me more interested in this game.
Yeah.
I thought I saw a Tifa mod, right?
That's how I played it. Yeah, I tried Tifa mod. I did a Jill. I did Makoto from Persona. So like that made me interested in the game, and that made it a lot more fun. So I got it on PC on the Epic Game Store. It's like $28 on CD Keys, and it's a fun loop game, but it's pretty brutal. It's not a game you can just like play, drop, and come back. You gotta keep playing.
This game demands perfection. Like it demands like timing and like really like knowing like the attacks and the blocking, and because there's not just one blocking. There's like pairing and like different ways to move to block and different ways to move to parry. So it's like it demands a lot of things from you. And it's pretty good. The story is just cliche, like it's a really cliche story.
Revenge story.
Nobody.
It's like Kill Bill to me.
Basically, yeah. To me, I thought it was more like to this game. To me, was more like not necessarily a game about the story. Was just a game about like the gameplay itself. Like the gameplay itself is like just the game. And no, it was good. It was fine. I still don't think it's $40 worth, but it's still a fun game. A game that I feel like if you're interested on like difficult quote games, you can try it.
Yeah.
But even then, like I don't think it's a really difficult game. I just think it demands practice and determination and willing to learn from your mistakes.
I thought the game looked really nice, and I was looking at gameplay. I was like, "Yeah, this game looks really clean." I don't play super difficult games all the time, but that's kind of the reason why I did get this one. I thought it looked nice, but I just know it's going to be the game that just makes me really frustrated. So,
Absolutely,
we'll see. I might get it later on like discount, like you said, if I can find it for like $20 or something.
Yeah. I think $20 is a great price for it.
Riku, if you're open to getting it on PC, the modding scene on that game is like super awesome. Like any character you can imagine is on there by this point. Joker, like you can pick male or female character, so you can mess around. And there's like this mod. I don't know if you're familiar with the Matrix. Like you can play as Neo and you fight all these what you call it, Mr. Smith, like from the Matrix.
Yeah.
That's like so cool.
They also have
that sounds pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie.
John Wick too.
Yeah, John Wick. Yeah.
So that was awesome too.
Yeah, it's really fun with the mod.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's 40, but I'll see if I can find it discounted.
Yeah. I actually only seen the game discounted once, and I think that's when I bought it for like $30, $29.99. That was like the only time that I seen it discounted. So
yeah, Black Friday will be on sale for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I'll definitely get it then.
Alrighty, well, I guess moving on into the next one. I think I guess I'll ask you guys, any other games that you guys played before the big one, Horizon Forbidden West?
Yeah, 2 big games in February. Looking at the list.
Two really big games, right? So that's what I said. There's still the big ones. So
nothing else from here. I guess King of Fighters 15 is that a new release or is that like a re-release? I don't know.
I think that's a brand new game.
Yeah, I didn't get to play that one yet.
No, are you waiting for later? I guess.
Yeah, it's not my favorite fighting franchise, so it's like whatever.
It's just whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
What about you, Riku? Any other games besides Horizon or Elden Ring?
I technically didn't play the remastered version of Life is Strange, but I played the original. That didn't really count. So
yeah, I didn't play this new one. I played it when they came out.
Yeah, I just wanted to get it on PC.
They're still great. I love those games.
Yeah.
I've only finished the original. I played a little bit of 2, but it didn't grab me as much. I'll probably get back to it at some point. And I still haven't gotten, what's the new one with the
True Colors?
Yeah,
that one's really good.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that one
really good. Yeah. I strongly recommend that. That one was pretty good. I like the direction they went in, because the second game is like extremely sad and depressing. Like there's no happy ending in that game. Cool. But yeah, it's just like, oh man, like every time you're like, oh man, I guess it's whatever, right? Just the next episode is just gonna be better, but it's just really sad. But anyway, I guess I want to jump into the big ones of February, and I feel like these are strong contenders for Game of the Year in general. Like I feel like these games are definitely gonna be games that are gonna be in a lot of people's Game of the Year's list. So Horizon Zero Dawn. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Horizon Forbidden West. I'm sorry. I screwed that one up. Did you guys play it? I know Devil played it.
I haven't played it because I still haven't finished the original Zero Dawn, and I have no clue when I'm gonna finish it. So if I get it, it'll be just way down the line.
All right, and Devil May Pie, how's it going, man?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Static. Okay, so I'm a big Horizon fan. Love the first game, so I was really excited for this one, and yeah, it didn't disappoint. I think it was a great sequel. I think it improved on everything that I would want from the first game, and then some. It's better story. I like how, without spoilers, like I like the direction it went and how it sets up possibly for the next game. Much more like not straightforward story, much more sci-fi twist. I really like that, and yeah, gameplay just felt much better, more fluid. To me, even though it's on PS4, I think it's the best looking game on the PS5. Like just like pure fidelity. Like I think this and probably Ratchet Rift Apart is probably the best pound for pound, best looking game on the system. It's like every screenshot is like perfect. You don't even have to like you don't have to adjust any colors. Like just like raw screenshot is like wow. So
yeah, totally agree. The game is extremely good looking. I think the game, what it does is good. I don't think they necessarily reinvents the wheel or anything when it comes to like action games or anything like that. So I can't give it a pass for that. I think it's good. In fact, I think it was really, really good. Like story wise, like the motion capture of like the different characters, the animations, the voice acting. There was a lot of stuff that I was like, holy crap! They put so much time into this game. The story actually kind of took me like I already thought it was really crazy in the first game. No spoilers or anything, but it does have a pretty crazy storyline. But the story went into even crazier stuff that I was like, wow, okay, like they're really raising the stakes here. It really like I was like pretty mind blown with everything that they shown. So definitely very excited for this. Kind of annoyed me that there's gonna be a third game, but it was like so like, well, you better play the last game because because it's gonna be essential to kind of finding out what happens in the end and everything. So I don't know, pretty good stuff. I really like the game. I gave it, I think, a 9 out of 10. I think there were certain aspects that I didn't like, but it wasn't anything major or anything big. Like I think it was just like minor nitpicks and that kind of stuff. I had a bunch of like issues when I was playing on the PS5. Did you have any issues with the game, like performance?
No, not performance wise. I think I have a couple small bugs where like character got stuck on like map or not in the map, but like this between like walls and stuff. But like nothing like game breaking. No save glitches or anything. But I have heard like mixed things. Like it's not like Cyberpunk bad, like nowhere near as bad. But I've seen people report like certain clip-ins. But they have fixed that. Yeah. At this point, there have been a lot of patches, but I was fortunate in my playthrough. I had like 2 hard crashes only, I think. But other than that, no real issues for me. I had it on performance mode the whole time, like on 60 frames, and it still looks great. So I think like just for an open world, like I think that's like to be expected, but nothing like crazy.
For sure. No, I feel the same way. The only issue that I had that was kind of like really actually ruined my experience is. There was a point in the story mission, like in the main story mission, where I clipped into like I was swimming. There's like a swimming area. I think it's in Las Vegas or something like that. No spoilers or anything. But during that part, I clipped in through the walls while I was swimming, and the swimming for me was super janky. Like it was really jank. And anyway, so I clipped a bunch of times, and it got to the point that I wasn't able to cross an area to go to the next, to finish that mission or anything. And it was incredibly frustrating for me. I was like, I cannot believe that this is happening like this. I had to dig through the files to be able to pull up a second save file. And the second save file was like 5 hours prior.
Yeah.
So that kind of soured my experience a little bit. I still like the game a lot, but I can't say that I enjoyed playing 5 hours of the same thing, just to get to the. Then after that, I just said fuck it, and I just beeline through the storyline. I just straight up just went directly to finish the rest of the game. I was like, oh, okay, I don't really have time for this. I got kind of annoyed about it. But yeah.
Yeah, we had another big game coming out, so you're on the timeline.
Yeah. All right. So the other game that came out on February was Elden Ring. All right. Obviously, you were saying there was another big game coming out. I kind of had to like pick and choose, right? So I was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna finish the game real quick. Pick up Elden Ring. Riku, did you play Elden Ring?
I don't like Souls games. I'm sorry. It looks nice. I'm not gonna lie. The game looks really good. The world itself looks just amazing. But it's just Souls game has this kind of formula that just really frustrates me, and I just can't get into it. I played Demon Souls on a PS5, and I don't own Demon Souls on a
Oh,
PS5 anymore.
well,
And yeah,
you
it's just not my kind of thing.
you'll be happy
Yeah,
to know that the one that you started with is the most frustrating Souls game. So
Yeah,
like
Demon Souls.
like Elden Ring is probably the least frustrating game, and this is not just because I like the game, but it is easily the most accessible and beginner friendly Souls game.
Well, that's good to hear because yeah, I couldn't. I'm not gonna tell you how far I got in Demon Souls, but yeah,
Yeah, no,
it's
no, no. I totally understand,
oof.
man. I myself have dropped Demon Souls multiple times, so like
mhm.
I cannot fault you. I don't fault anyone that plays Demon Souls. So like like I feel like that's one of the worst ways to like start with the Souls games. It's
Yeah.
it's really
That that
hard.
that's how I started with Demon Souls on PS3, and it took me about three like restarts and like 4 years till I finally clicked. So it's not ideal. So I
Yeah.
think maybe we'll get you in Riku. So it's not like something we're gonna force on you, but like maybe if we either use Elden Ring or maybe a Bloodborne remaster, we can get you in the multiplayer. I think having familiar friends with you, getting you through some of the bosses, I think.
Yeah,
I think that helps a lot, and it adds a different dynamic and makes it more fun because Elden Ring is really a lot of fun with friends, and there's so many people I know that had no interest in this and they gave it a shot and really enjoyed their time with it, playing with me and other people.
Yeah,
absolutely.
multiplayer. I could see that being way more
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah,
yeah, for
absolutely.
sure.
There's so many things to like about Elden Ring. Like for once, there's like I know there's like the thing that some people are like, oh, like the game has no story. No, there's plenty of story in this game. Even if you're not looking for like the lore or anything like that, the game does a pretty good job as kind of like giving you the rundown of what's going on. And as you're going through the bosses and everything, they kind of tell you a lot of the story. It's actually one of the games that I feel like has the most story of like the Souls games. I think. Um, I don't know. I really like this game. I wasn't expecting the game to be like this, but it really surprised me. The open world is super fun to explore. The gameplay is really polished. I feel like this is like peak. Like, there's so many mechanics that they added from other games. Like they added jumping, which is a big one.
Yeah, jump button. I was like, it's hard to go back. Like I know, Kuro, you went back to Bloodborne. I went back to Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
Go back to the game without a jump button is like so difficult. So like that's something they got to keep in the future. They can't do a game without
Absolutely.
it now.
Hell, even having the horse like that, I
Yeah.
didn't realize how much of a big impact that makes. I was playing Bloodborne, and I was like, man, I already misses the the horse because it really just adds like it adds multiple layers. For example, one thing is if you're fighting an enemy or like a group of enemies and you're just not doing a good job, like sometimes you have like a mob of enemies and you're like, oh man, I'm gonna die here. Easy as popping up the horse and just running away from this battle. It's just as easy as that because that's the kind of stuff that I find very like almost like very annoying about Souls games. It's not really the boss battles that kills you. It's like those like mobs or like these enemies that are just annoying that attack you like three or four at the same time.
Yeah,
And
like
yeah,
the ads and stuff.
yeah. That's the kind of stuff that you see and you're like, oh, that's just annoying. But the horse really mitigates that because like you can just run away from the battle. Like, yeah, and they don't have horses. Most of them don't have horses, so like they can't reach you. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm like, okay, that's cool. Somebody commented here that the biggest criticisms that they have about Elden Ring is the quality of the bosses. I'll say it's not the quality, it's the quantity. Because the quality
Yeah.
of the bosses itself is fine. I think that most of the bosses are really fun. Certain bosses are very memorable. In fact, we have Devil May Pi and I have done like a ranking of all the bosses and everything. And for the
Mhm.
most part, I will say there is a good chunk of good bosses here. The
It's it's
quantity
it's
of it.
it's
Go ahead.
very top heavy. So like the few that are really good, you really remember, but like just because the pure number and like repetition makes like all right, it's not as good because there's like 100 bosses and maybe only maybe 20 or 30 of it's like really good. So like the 70 is kind of like whatever versus the
Yeah.
other game where it's like more more fine tuned, more. So I understand that criticism for sure, but I guess that's something they have to do to make it a 200-hour open world game. They gotta have more content, and they don't expect you to fight everything. Like they don't expect us crazy Souls people to fight every single creature in this game, because most people play this game, they're gonna not see the same thing. So that was their design intent.
Totally agree with you. I think that they did a good job as far as like what they did with the game, but I can agree with this criticism. You know, it's really annoying, like finding a certain boss. You're like, oh, finally I beat this boss, only to fight him like 3, 4, 5 times. Like the Godskin people, those were like just annoying. Like really, they're just like, they were not a good boss battle or anything like that, but you fight them a bunch of times. So I don't know. I think it's fine. It's just kind of one of those things, and I totally agree with that criticism. I think it's fair criticism on that end. So any other games on February that we played, or anything that comes to mind? Any of the games there?
No, I think we covered it.
All right. Yep. All right. Well, I think it's time for our first award of the night. We had quite a bit of votes. I didn't think we were gonna have this many votes. But it's best waifu of 2022 so far. The nominees, most of them actually came from Devil May Pipe, but I agree with them, so I left them there. The one that I nominated is Ringo from Soul Hackers 2.
Looks like the winner.
It is the winner. We have Rainy from Elden Ring, Aloy from Horizon Forbidden West, and Tama from AI's Summon Files, Nirvana, I don't know what else, Initiative, is that right?
Yep, that's right.
All right, and of course, as you mentioned earlier, spoiler alert, right? But the winner is Ringo from Soul Hackers 2. I think it makes sense because of our channel, the channel here and everything.
No bias at all.
You know how Atlas. That's what I was thinking when I was making this. I was like, well, I feel like I know the winners of some of this stuff, but either way, I'm not mad. I like Ringo. Like the design is like a 10 out of 10 for me already. Cool. My personal waifu, I think, is gonna be Rainy from Elden Ring.
Same, yeah.
What about you? If you have any Riku that we didn't mention, do you have any that you will like, be like, oh, okay, this one is the one that I like the most, or
you can't say Tifa. You can't say Tifa.
Yeah, I'll let you have Tifa. At the top of I got to look at the games I've played recently, to be honest. I will say that in the list, I do like Tama, even though I have not even played the game. I just like her design a lot. I really like her design.
Tama just has a great design. Like, she really does. Like, even if I haven't played the game, I'm like, yeah, Tama is like a pretty strong contender. That's why I didn't debate it when he mentioned it. I was just like, yeah, you know what? I can see it. You know, she deserves to be in there and be part of the nominees and everything. So yeah, I like her. So I figured she was a good one to have nominated there.
I will say. Oh, sorry. I was about to say, for second half of the year, like we'll probably get a bunch of Xenoblade 3 contenders. We just have to play the game to find out who we like, but I think they'll probably make the cut.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There's gonna be a lot of. I think 2022. That's why I wanted to do it this way, because, like you were saying, like fall 2022 is very big with a lot of games and everything. So like, there's gonna be a lot of. I think that one's gonna be a longer podcast and everything. So, yeah. Pretty good stuff. Okay, so I guess we're going to move on into the rest of 2022. We have the month of March. Any games that you guys particularly stick out for the month of March? You're like, yeah, this game.
I played 3 from this list here. The first one is GTA 5. I'm not sure that counts because that's a PS3 game. While it was free on the PS5, I definitely tried it out, and it's pretty much what you'd expect. I don't know if it's 4K, but it's 60 FPS GTA 5. But it's just more of what I've been playing for like the past few years. So it's like I wasn't really excited about it. But GTA 5 is still like a great game. I'm just kind of at this point, I've played enough of it, and I'm just kind of waiting for the next one, which will be out by probably like 20 years from now. So we'll see.
Understandable. What about you, Dylan? I know you played some games from this list.
So I think this month I'm still like because Elden Ring and Horizon came out so late, so I was still playing those in this month. Everything here I played like later stuff like Triangle Strategy. I played I think April or May. Really love that. Surprised me a lot actually. It's really good strategy RPG on the Switch. Great story, political intrigue. If you like Game of Thrones kind of plot, like a lot of different characters and side plots, political stuff. Yeah, it's really good. What else? Kirby, I think that's another big one that month. I really enjoyed that as well. A nice game right after Elden Ring, like a good palate cleanse, just a nice, cool like platformer. And other than that, I guess the other big one is Persona 4 Ultimax, which is a re-release, but just nice to see because it's been like almost 10 years since we've seen it, so that was nice to see back.
So yeah, I did play that. I also want to say that I also played. I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad.
You're good.
Also, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. I played a little bit of that, and I'm kind of torn on it because I like Borderlands a lot, but something about Tiny Tina just didn't really like grab me as much as like Borderlands 2 or 3. And so I'm at the point where I just kind of dropped it. I might get back to it in the future. I'm not sure. But gameplay wise, it's fine. Gunplay is fine. It's just the characters I don't find really interesting. And
oh, really?
Outside of that, yeah.
Was
I
it
don't
like
know.
maybe the narration or something like that? Because I know this one is kind of like supposed to be like a D&D campaign.
Yeah, it's more like it's more
Tiny
fantasy.
Right. So
yeah, it's
was
like
was it maybe just the way that they approach the game itself, or?
The setup is cool. It's just like, I don't know, something about it just did grab me. So I was playing split screen multiplayer for most of the time I played it. And I don't know, just the characters that you hear throughout the entire game or throughout what I've played, they just weren't really interesting to me. And the jokes weren't really all that funny. And I'm trying to not be super negative. I found them kind of annoying. And just overall, it just didn't really just hit for me.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with the Borderlands games. The humor can either land or just be pretty cringe. Like there's no in between. Like unfortunately with those games, like it can either be pretty like okay, that's pretty funny, or it's just pretty cringe. I don't know why, but that's kind of how it was with those games.
They just never hit Borderlands 2 level humor to me again. So.
Right. I think that's peak. That's also my favorite one. So, so I actually skipped that game. I was busy reviewing Persona 4 Ultimax. So at the time I was like, oh, I had to focus on the review for that, and I was doing some streams for that. So Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, pretty good. It had a really terrible performance on PC, so I have to call them out for that. It is better now after multiple updates, but first impressions on PC was just terrible. I absolutely hated it on PC. The PlayStation version was fine. It was, it's just a game. It's a re-release game. What can I say, right? It's kind of like...
Yeah, there's not much to say.
Yeah, there's not much to say about that. If you haven't played it, definitely play it. I think it's good if you never played it before. Otherwise, I mean, it's just cool for replays, but... I don't know. That's the thing about fighting games is like there's only so much you can do with them. The other side of it, which is the visual novel side of it, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's
just nice to see Persona 3 and 4 characters interact. I know they did in Persona Q, but it's still cool to see. Also, shout outs to my favorite design of Mitsuru. Probably the best design of her is in this game.
So. She looks great.
Oh, yeah. Got that mommy energy.
Right, yeah, she does. Yeah. Love to see it here. Of course, we also have Triangle Strategy. I know you played that game.
Yeah, I said this earlier. Yeah, it's really cool. It's if you own a Switch, a really good strategy RPG. I was surprised actually. I didn't thought I was gonna like it as much. Starts off slightly slow, but once you get into it, it's like one of the hardest. Because there's like a decision making element that like branches to different paths. That's like really
like Octopath Traveler.
No, I don't like Octopath Traveler at all. So like it's much improved. It's more like it's like a better synergy between characters. Like the story is not as isolated. Like that one's
okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Octopath is like 8 separate stories. They all have their own thing, but they don't really interact. But this one's like one solid, big plot that branches into different paths, and all the main characters kind of interact. And I think it's a much more interesting game personally.
I think I might actually try that out at some point. I haven't played it. I love the whole art style that they've done with the Team Asano games, and Octopath, yeah, I had a similar issue. Just the characters don't really interact, and I don't know, something about it just didn't hit as well. But this
Yeah.
game actually does look pretty interesting. So
Yeah, if that didn't do it for you, like a lot of my friends that didn't like Octopath really like this one. I think it's a different enough like flavor, and then I think it's worth
Absolutely.
yeah,
And just to let you guys know, Triangle Strategy is also part of one of the games you can vote for best OST. So if you haven't already, please vote
Yep.
there. That was a nomination by Devil May Cry. I haven't played the game myself, so I can't really say much about it. But I have played Octopath Traveler and I liked it. I know, I'm sorry, controversial maybe.
No, most people like it. I'm the weird one that don't like it.
But I heard the OST, at least yesterday when we were talking about it, I heard a little bit of it and it's really good. So
Yeah,
so far that, and I love one thing that I want to say about, like, I mentioned this in a previous podcast, but I love Square Enix new studio where they're doing these type of games. I want more of this kind of stuff. I really feel like this is a market that is definitely like up for more exploration. So Square Enix continue doing this. I think it's a great idea. It makes me very excited for the future of future games, future RPGs. Hell, go back and do other Final Fantasy games like this, or like other kind of games. I would like to see maybe even like Megaten games on this style, like the old ones.
oh my god, that'd be so good.
Yeah. If Atlas would borrow that kind of tech, that 2D, 3D tech. But yeah, Square Enix. I know they're going more action, more pretty big with their main Final Fantasies, but it's cool to see games like Live Alive. We're gonna probably get FF Tactics. That's like part of the rumors, and Tactics Ogre, like stuff like that, like them reviving older IP. Really cool.
Yeah,
I'm actually really looking forward to the Dragon Quest 3 HD2D remake. So
pretty cool stuff. Now there's a game here that if we're talking about the mid games, this game will fall under that. But I did play Babylon's Fall.
You did? Oh my
yeah,
goodness!
I did.
Were you the one player that was playing on Steam?
Apparently, that game was a total disappointment for a lot of ways, and it really pains me. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a huge Platinum Games fans, and this was a game that I was like, okay, well, Platinum Games, they make really good stuff. I mean, like, we're talking about Square Enix. Square Enix dropped 3 games in this month.
Crazy. We have another one we haven't talked about yet.
It's another game that was actually when I was going to lead into that one when I said meet, but I was like, okay, I'm just going to hold off. We're going to talk about Babylon Fall. It's honestly, this game was a total disappointment, total letdown. It barely had any like people like play either, because this game is must co-op. Like, you definitely need other people to play with you. It's meant to be a multiplayer game. The experience is not, and without that kind of support, without having other players, it's really not a game that is even worth touching. To be honest, it's just very unfortunate. But it's sad to see Platinum Games delivering a game like this, because I know they can do better. If you guys don't know, Platinum has done games like the Nier Automata, so we know they can do better games than this. So very disappointing, to be honest. But speaking of disappointing, and maybe, I don't know, Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. Do you guys play that game?
Unfortunately,
I have not.
You have not. So another hack and slash, I guess, if you will, studio that I like.
Team Ninja, Team Ninja. One of my favorites from back in the day.
Right. So another studio that I also love for the same things. They make absolutely great gameplay. We had Strangers of Paradise. I know there was a big meme around this game, and I don't know. I couldn't tell whether people were actually hyped for this game, or that they actually liked the game, or whether it was just part of the meme. I couldn't never tell. And I was like, am I the only one that is seeing this game for what it is? Or, like, are people actually excited for it? Like, I was super confused. They were giving mixed signals about this. I didn't know how to react about this game whatsoever.
So to sum it up, right, like the memes are cool. I like that aspect of it. I kind of wish they lean on to it more. Like, if the story's not going to be amazing or mind-blowing, I kind of want them to go all the way on the stupid stuff, but they didn't quite do that. So all the clips you've seen online is pretty much it, besides a few more. I was hoping for more, but the ending is actually really cool. But other than that, so 2 things. If you're a old school Final Fantasy fan, if you like classic Final Fantasy 1 through 6 or whatever. There's a lot of cool homages. There's like a lot of the levels are based on older Final Fantasy games, which is really cool. So I think you'll like that if you're a Final Fantasy fan. But if you're looking for a Souls fix, like Kuro and I, if you're coming off of Elden Ring and you're looking for a similar experience, you're going to be kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
The combat is fun. Some of the bosses are cool, but it's not as refined. The loot system I can't stand. If you like Neo, you might be used to it, but because every enemy drops like a bunch of loot, so every time you defeat an enemy, you drop like a bunch of swords and outfits, and you always have to go in the menu and equip it and all that. So that was really annoying for me.
It was extremely annoying, and it's kind of disappointing because Neo isn't like that. It is a little bit like that.
It's better, yeah.
But it's not like that in so many stuff. And the other thing is, Final Fantasy has so many different classes, right?
Yeah.
And sure, in Neo they have some different classes and stuff. You can do different weapons and everything. But the way they do the loadout here and the different, I don't know. There was just something that didn't click with me. To me, like you were saying, like it can either be cringe and be cringe all the way to, but ironically cringe, or unironically cringe, or you can just actually be just cringe. And unfortunately, this is just cringe. Like like it's just sad because, like I said, a lot of people were like, "Oh, they're memeing hard on the game," but is it actually worth the memes, or if it's just like, is it just memeing because? And yeah, that was the disappointing part for that game. I think it was fine. I don't think it was bad or anything like that. But I don't know. I can see why some people were like, "Oh man, this is like, like whatever." But people are saying that this is goatee and all this stuff. I was like, I cannot tell if you're like memeing. I cannot tell if you're just joking.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. It's a cool game, but it's not. I don't know. It's just not a world beater. Oh, I think we lost Riku.
I'm so sorry about that. Can you guys hear me?
All right, we're back.
Something happened here with the audio. I do apologize about that. But it is time to announce the game, the best OST of 2022 so far. We had some pretty good games here to go over and everything. I mean, just 1 second here. Man, I lost this thing. This is not good. Okay, there you go. Found it. All right, so we have nominees for best OST. Monarch, which by the way, if you guys haven't played the game, it does not play very good, but the soundtrack is pretty banging. It had a lot of
the boss tracks are kick-ass. It's really good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Then we have Elden Ring. I that was my personal pick. I didn't ask anyone. I just put it there. So I thought it was good. I think they always have pretty good good soundtrack. So I was like, yeah, I think it's pretty good. You had another one, right? What was it that you told me?
I picked Horizon, but that's cool. I'll probably be the one to vote for it. A very underrated soundtrack, but it's really good.
Yeah, it's pretty good too. I remember falling asleep and waking up and listening to it again, like in the middle of the night when I woke up, and I was like, yes, good soundtrack. It is pretty good. Then we also have Cuphead, which I love. I don't know if you guys know, but Cuphead had the DLC, which we're going to talk about later in this video. And Cuphead, the delicious last meal, is that what it is called? Last course. Yeah, that's what it is. And of course, we just talked about Triangle Strategy. Also, as I mentioned earlier, good soundtrack. I heard it, thought it was great. And without further ado, I guess we're going to go ahead and announce the winner. That's Cuphead. It won. I'm actually pretty surprised that it won.
It just came out.
Yeah. It's kind of the most recent game, I guess, that I played recently. I only played a little bit of it. I have not been able to play the entire thing yet. I don't have the time right now. I've just been pretty busy. So, but I think it's worth it. The music is really good. The day the game came out, the first thing that they did is they uploaded the entire soundtrack on YouTube. and that same day I just heard it all the way through. They always have good music. It's Big Bang music. So if you like that kind of stuff, like jazz and that kind of stuff, encourage you to check it out. The music is great. The game is really good too. We'll talk about it later, but it's a great game. So I guess we're gonna move on into the month of June.
You gonna skip 2 months?
Oh, no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. April. It went down for me accidentally, so I apologize.
I mean, you might as well skip. I'm looking at the list now. The next 2 months is kind of barren. I don't know about you guys. It's like backlog month.
It was backlog month of it, yeah. I think out of this, the only things that I played was Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt, which was a free game on the PS5. As me and my other 5 people that own a PS5 played that game. There's also Nintendo Switch Sports. Did any of you guys play that? No one played it.
I'm like the only one. No, I mean, I felt it's not as good as it's not as good as like something like Wii Sports. Obviously, I don't think anything can touch. Well, that sounds kind of it's not as good, but I think it's still like a pretty good successor, even though it's kind of lacking in content. There's still like the whole golf thing. I think that's kind of lame that there's no golf yet. So it's not like the best thing ever, but I think in terms of like those kinds of games that are on Switch, I think it's definitely one of the better ones.
Okay, what did you like about it, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, the game modes. I think the game modes were pretty good. Bowling honestly felt the exact same as the Wii.
Is that good or bad?
Multiplayer. Is it shit if it's good or bad?
Yeah, is that good or bad? I don't know. Is that a good thing that they felt the same way, or?
I would say, I mean, it's not really much you can do. You're just swinging the Joy-Con anyway, like you're holding a bowling ball. So I'd say I'd say that's okay. It's whatever. Chambara is my favorite game mode because it's basically sword fighting, and it can get pretty intense online, even though it's lagging all the time. It's still pretty fun. So overall, I'd say like it's a pretty good game. I know a lot of people don't like it, and I think that's fair because it's not like the best thing ever, but it's still pretty good.
Understandable. All right. What about you, Devil? Did you play any games that month? Anything that you recall?
I think I was still playing catch up and playing other stuff. The only shout I want to give is obviously 13 Sentinels for the Switch. I didn't play it all the way through because I already beat it on PS4, but great port by Atlas. One of their better ones. It came late for a reason and runs pretty flawlessly from what I played on the Switch. I mean, it's not a demanding game, but even the battles. So I think it works really well in that system since it's kind of like a visual novel / adventure game. Works well on the go. So if you never played it, a great port I can recommend.
All right, I agree. Right on. It was a great game. If you haven't already, check it out. I know we always simp on this game, but I think it's worth the money. I think if there's a game that I feel like is worth the money on Switch, check it out. I played the Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. It was actually different from what I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like a remake of the original ones, like they did on the Lego back in the day, on the Lego Star Wars games. But it's actually like completely a new game, basically. Going through the entire saga, there were a lot of characters. The Lego games are just kind of like a guilty pleasure, I guess, if you will. But I really like the game. I think it's great. And I don't know. I guess that's just the end of that, right? It's just a Lego game at the end of the day. Nothing more, nothing less. I can't. What else can I say? It's just a Lego game with Star Wars.
Yeah, they're usually pretty good Lego games. I haven't played them since like Lego Batman, but they're still pretty good. Yeah,
pretty good stuff. I'm trying to see if there was anything else. Oh, you know what? I talked about Babylon's Fall, but it wasn't actually until like later that I played Babylon's Fall when they did that Ultimate Edition or whatever. Or they did like a thing where it was like free on the PlayStation 5. You guys remember that? That was like
I don't.
Yeah. Anyway,
I didn't play.
it's fine. Same thing. We already talked about it. It is what it is. May. So, any games on May that you guys play, like Apex Legends Mobile?
Oh God, no!
It looks like another backlog month for me. To be honest.
Well, I think the only game that I played on May was Trek to Yomi because it was free on the on the not PlayStation, on Xbox Game Pass. So, as you guys don't know, Track to Yomi.
I've heard of it. I've seen gameplay, and it looks pretty cool.
That's the 2D Ghost of Tsushima, right? That's like the basic explanation.
Basic premise
That's
of
what I heard
it
on
is
Twitter.
basically what it is. It's 2D Ghost of Tsushima, I guess, if you will. It is really cool because it does have like black and white, film, like samurai film style to it and everything. It is very heavily stylized, like the kills and stuff like that. The gameplay is just very basic. You know, it's just like hack, and slash, and like parry and blocking. You know, so it's very basic on that end. The story, of course, is very basic as well, like very traditional, like samurai film, revenge story, that type of thing. But it's a cool concept, I would say. This is basically another one of those, if you will, like HD 2D game, because it's really highly stylized and everything. It's definitely like a modern HD game, but it reminds me of those like 2D games from like back in the day. So like it has like cool stuff into it, I think.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's free on Game Pass, so I was like, hey, free game, I can probably review it on the channel. So I did. Check out my full review if you're interested on that, but nothing much to it. That's really it. Oh, I forgot to talk about Vampire the Masquerade Bloodhunt. I mean, it's a multiplayer game. What can I say about it? There's not much to that, really. Yeah, I mean, I wish I had more to say about this stuff, but I don't really have anything else.
Yeah, one that came out, I didn't get a chance to play. It's called Salt and Sacrifice. It's like the 2D Souls game. Salt and Sanctuary was
yeah.
That was the first game that came out in like 2016. Really cool, but this one like came like with a whimper. Like no one talked about it, but I do want to get to it at some point. Cool, like 2D side scroller Souls kind of game.
Oh, for me, Evil Dead, that game looks really interesting. I'm into like asymmetrical horror, and I've been looking at that game for a while. I just haven't got it yet, but I will at some point.
Okay, so it looks like Salt that's in everybody's list, because I also have it for a feature. Whenever I'm in the feature, I have time to play it. I'll definitely do it. It looks really good. It looks really good. All right, I guess we're gonna move on to the next month here in June.
Finally, good month. Big
finally,
month.
Right? The good months, right? Getting close to the feature. All right, so June. Any particular games that you guys played?
So Cuphead, The Delicious Last Course, I played that, and I also got Fall Guys. It was free. Cuphead is a fantastic game. I think it is one of the coolest indie games I've played. I think it looks great, sounds great. It's just really hard, and I'm still playing it right now. I'm on the final area. I'm not going to say who it is or anything like that. But the game is great. I've been playing a bunch of 2 players, multiplayer, and it's just a ton of fun. It's really tough, but just man, I love the new moveset that Chalice has, and what she brings to the table just makes the game so much different to play, and I really enjoy it. So Cuphead is great. Fall Guys, it was already good. I'm glad it's free and multi-platform and on everything now, so there's just way more people. And that's all I can say about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. Fall Guys, feel the same way about it. Like, thank God it's out everywhere now and people can play it and everything. Cuphead, I think we talked about it a little bit earlier, but honestly, it's such a good game. Like, I can't wait to see what they do next, but the style of it is fantastic. It's really hard. Like, the bosses of this one are, like, next level, so... They did a good job. Have you recently started playing Cuphead, or have you played it before?
Okay, so the thing is, like, I have one playthrough on I have it on PC too. I was able to review it too. But my main playthrough is on Switch, and I've been playing it on and off for a little over a year now. But only recently, within like the past 2 months, did I get back into it and actually like really get far into the game. I haven't beat it, but I got to the final area, and I'm working on that right now. So I'll probably have that game beat pretty soon. But I've just been playing it on and off. I've played it on stream plenty of times, and it's just people have seen me get frustrated playing the game. That's why I dropped it for a while. I came back to it.
Honestly, it can be very frustrating, just like any of the anything like that. You know, they're very frustrating games, but they're good. it's such a good game. I don't know. I can see when some people like get really frustrated. It's kind of like the Souls games in a sense, where like it's really just a matter of like learning the attack of the bosses and all that.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
kind of why I feel like I could eventually get into Souls because it's kind of like a similar thing with Cuphead. It's just pattern recognition, and I gotta just learn how these bosses go and how they do their thing. So
Yeah. What boss DLC or even the main game? Because I haven't played the DLC yet. Which boss gave you the hardest time? I'm really bad at the flying levels. That one bird, like the woodpecker kind of bird with the bird mouth.
yeah,
That one,
yes,
that gave me
bro,
so much trouble.
that is so hard. Yeah, you're right. Flying levels are really
I
hard.
I would say that the level that gave me the hardest time is the cloud dragon one. It's like the three-headed
Oh, the
dragon.
dragon. Yeah, yeah. Because there's
Yeah.
like all the platforms and you're shooting the fireballs that split up at you. Yeah.
Yeah, it took me like a few months to beat that on and off playing just that level alone. But once I beat it, I kept going. Got to another hard boss. I think the one you're talking about, the bird with the feathers and all that, that one was really
Yeah.
hard for me. Let me see what else is there.
The robot
and-
was pretty hard. The doctor
Yeah, yeah.
Robotnik or whatever.
yeah, he looks like Bender from Futurama.
yeah.
But yeah, that one gave me a lot of trouble. But this is when I got back into playing recently. So I didn't quit. I didn't stop playing until I beat him. So I eventually beat him. And that's the thing though. It's like super satisfying. I get this crazy satisfying feeling I've never had playing any other game before. So no matter how mad I get when I beat a boss, it's all worth it to me.
Yeah, that. I feel like you will definitely like the Souls games because that gives you that experience, like high, if you will, of like
Yeah.
like it's really awesome. It just feels good. I feel like that's one of the best things about it. It feels so good in the end.
Yeah, so I'll definitely check out like Elden Ring or something, see what I can come up with. Yeah, Cuphead. Oh my god.
Oh my
So
god.
good.
I am so sorry. I accidentally ended the best game of 2022 a little bit earlier.
The poll.
The poll.
Oh,
So we actually have two winners.
Wow, we got a tie.
But we got a tie. So I guess what we can do. Did you guys vote for the best game of 2022 on the thing there?
I didn't vote because I didn't play these games on the list.
Oh, you didn't.
I feel
Oh,
like
okay,
that'd be
okay.
unfair.
Understood. What about you, Devil? Did you vote
I think I clicked on Elden Ring as soon as it went up.
Elden Ring? Okay. Well, I didn't get a chance to vote, so I'll vote for Elden Ring. Making it
All right,
a winner.
Are we the
Elden Ring
tiebreaker?
wins.
But
Yeah.
I want to give the shout to AI Somnium. I guess we can transition that just came out recently, the sequel to AI Somnium Files. Great visual novels from Uchikochi-san, the makers of 999 and Zero Escape. I know a lot of people playing it for the first time. It's one where you should play the first game. It's visual novel, but it's mostly voice acted. So probably the funniest game you'll ever play. Out of context, you probably see like a lot of sus stuff and clips and all that. But trust me, it all works. And if you like Ace Attorney, detective games, it's a visual novel I can recommend to people who are not into the genre. So yeah, definitely check out the first game and then get on the second game when you can.
All right, definitely. So with that said, we want to go ahead and talk about the best mid game, the best mid-year game of 2022 so far. And nominees, obviously, you guys saw them. It's Elden Ring, put Pokemon Legends Arceus, which I didn't think anyone was gonna vote for, but I guess they did. Horizon Forbidden West and AI Somnium Files. I can't say it. We just talk about it, and of course I did the tiebreaker on this one because I didn't get to vote. So I put the winner as the Elden Ring. Woo!
Yeah, probably gonna win Game of the Year, by the way.
I think whether you love it or hate it, it took up so much of the conversation, all the memes, all the artwork. Like you couldn't escape it, right? Even if you weren't playing the game, it's like all over the place. I think being that, and how well it sold like 12 million in the first 2 weeks. That's insane for this.
I was actually surprised for like a Souls game. I would think it wouldn't be that popular personally.
Yeah, it's crazy how well it did. So
Yeah.
it's really cool.
It surprised a lot of people. It really surprised plenty surprises. I think I don't know why some people are like, well, it made sense because this. I'm like, no. If you've been a fan of like Souls games, like this was truly a surprise. I personally feel this way. Like if you were a fan of any kind of Souls games, I think that you didn't really expect it to sell like millions of copies like it did. Like it sure is, it sells. It they usually sell a couple million, but not to the extent that they did with this one. I think this was like a big one for a lot of people. So like I don't know, but I personally think that nobody expected it as well as it did. But that's my personal opinion on that. So obviously we have the rest of the year. It's only June. We have the rest of July and the rest of the year, and we have another poll for the most anticipated game of 2022 of the rest of 2022. Yeah. And well, people vote because we want to give some time for people to vote. What are some games that you guys are looking forward to?
For me, I'm really looking forward to Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Looking forward to Stray. Yeah, I'm buying so many games this year. I have a Google Docs dedicated to games that I'm buying this year. I know Dragon Quest 3 is coming out this year. I'm not sure when. Splatoon 3, Bayonetta 3, Soul Hacker. I'm just buying so many games this year. It's not even funny. Like six games like minimum right now.
Yeah, right. And that's not counting any re-releases or any other stuff that may come your way, like Persona 5 Module.
I can count at least 10 altogether for me.
Yeah, I'm buying Persona 5. I'm definitely buying that again.
Right, exactly right.
Have we got a word from Atlas? Is there some sort of like free upgrade path for PS4 owners or like a $10 upgrade? It'd be nice to not have to pay full price.
It would be nice. Dude, I just feel like they're just going to sell it to us to get full price.
Because I want that 60 frames. It'd be nice to just like, go on, because I already have it digital. It'd be nice to just like switch it over and get it. So.
Yeah. I would like them to do that. Like I honestly will be like, this will be such a like a good thing from Atlas if they went to do that. But from a perspective of, we are releasing the game again, that's like a couple million more.
I think we all know Atlas too well that they won't.
Yeah, they're gonna sell it again.
Yeah, at full price. I guarantee this is gonna be it's already out in other countries to like pre-order. I think in Japan it's already out and it's full price. So just being spoiler alert, it's full price. If they're selling it in Japan at full price, it's just gonna be full price everywhere, I think.
Yeah. Also, I want to say real quick, Forza 5, the Hot Wheels DLC, I think that looked really awesome. I don't even have Forza 5 yet, but when that drops, I probably will own Forza 5.
Horizon 5? Oh yeah, that was really fun. I played that last year. So
yeah, I have 4 on PC, and 5 looks really good. And I've been waiting on like some really nice Hot Wheels type thing. I grew up playing these games on PS1, like Hot Wheels Turbo Racing and stuff. And this is like the most coolest Hot Wheels thing I've seen in a while. So probably gonna get it.
All right. Yeah, there's a lot of games I'm excited for. Like you said, there's so many that are not even on the on nominees or anything like that. Of course, we have Soul Hackers, which I'm pretty excited for. God of War.
Yeah, finally got a date.
And he's like way earlier than I think a lot of people anticipated. Because everybody was like,
next year.
Yeah. It's like I thought it was gonna be next year. I thought it was gonna be delayed or something like that. That was a lot of rumors and talk about that. And to just hear all of a sudden, it comes out in like a few months. Like that was crazy. That's a crazy move. I think it's gonna do great. I think it's gonna sell really good. Do you guys think it's gonna like compete for like Game of the Year for people?
Yeah, I think it's gonna compete.
I think it will be the closest competitor. Like before, I thought Elden Ring was gonna run away with it. I think this will give it a good challenge. I don't think it will beat it, but I think it will probably be the second closest.
Yeah,
for sure.
Of course. And then we of course have Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which you guys mentioned earlier. There's another game that you guys haven't talked about, and that's Calypso Protocol.
Oh yeah, that's in December. Yeah, I'm excited for that too. I love Dead Space.
I'm excited for that. Huge Dead Space fan as well, of course. Yeah. So yeah, definitely can't wait for that. And of course, we also have the Harry Potter game. It's like Hogwarts Legends.
I think that's getting delayed. I hope not, but I don't have a good feeling about that.
Yeah, just like they did with what was the other game that they got delayed too?
Everything.
No. There was a game that I was trying to think about that they got delayed. The Bethesda game.
Oh, Starfield.
Oh,
Yeah.
Redfall and
Yeah,
Starfield.
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
kind of a little salty about that one because I was like, come on, like it's been
Yeah.
a while, but also like if you played any Bethesda game, like thank God it got delayed.
Yeah, they probably need the time.
Because if Bethesda delays something, it probably needs it. Like, just
Yeah.
being blunt about it, he probably needed it. So, um,
I
yeah, I
want to
mean,
say
yeah, go ahead.
real quick. PSO2 finally coming to PlayStation. I'm playing that this year. It's
Yeah,
a free game.
I thought about you when I saw that post.
Yeah, I was really happy about that. So that's something I'm also gonna play this year. I mean, I'd say get, but it's free to play. So really looking forward to that.
Nice, 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 nice. Yeah, there's so many stuff that I'm like, there's also a Lord of the Rings Golem.
Oh, that's
Uh,
coming out this year.
yeah.
And had the date.
yeah, it's September, I think. Yeah, September 1st. There's so many. The Last of Us Part 2, the remake, which I don't know if I'm gonna buy it or not. I'm still like debating about it because I
I'm
feel like
buying it.
70
It's-
bucks
it's-
is such a ripoff.
It's not needed, but I'm such the first Last of Us is like in my top 20 games of all time. I couldn't say no, so I'm definitely getting it.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
I think that's gonna be holding it hostage for so many people, right? Like, oh man, I really love. Like, I also have it in my top 10 games of ever, right? So
Yeah,
like, I'm
I watched your video, so you love the first game, so I don't know. It might be hard to say no depending on other games.
exactly. It just literally depends on when it comes out and what games I'm playing at that time. Of course, I'm gonna probably play it, but
Crisis Core, obviously that's in December, right? Or
right, Crisis
is it
Core.
fall this
Yeah,
year.
I'll be getting that too. Yeah.
I'm super excited to see that back.
Absolutely, that's a massive game for Square Enix. Overwatch 2. I'm gonna play that.
Yeah, I'll probably play it.
Did you guys ever played a Plague Tale?
I did. I played it for the first time last year. It was on PS Plus. It's really cool. I'll probably I have an Xbox, so I'll be on Game Pass. So that's how
Yeah,
I'll play it.
that's what I'm excited for. There's so many games that I'm like, finally Xbox can justify like the Xbox Game Pass again. Because it was like, let's be honest here, although Xbox Game Pass is nice, when Xbox has no games to give, like...
Yeah, they need like big releases.
Exactly.
Yeah, they need
exactly.
more. They need more. It's not enough right now. I think like that's why they really needed Starfield this year, because that's when I would have been like, all right, time to sign up again. So
Yeah, and they need to make it fully compatible with Steam Deck, because right now you have to jump through hoops to get it. And
yeah, I love that.
don't necessarily like that you have to jump through hoops to get that kind of stuff. I feel like it should just be a download thing pretty quickly, that kind of stuff. I feel like that's how it should be, but I don't know. Of course, we have Persona 5 Royal. I think I mentioned it earlier. Gotham Knights, which I'm gonna probably skip on it. Everything that I've seen about it doesn't look like a game I want to play. It just doesn't. I don't know why. It's something about it just kind of makes me cringe a little bit. And then we have Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which is a massive game for Nintendo. Yeah, I mean Nintendo already has everything loaded up for themselves, right?
Yep.
Except one that Riku anticipating too. We need that Bayonetta 3
Bayonetta
release date.
3,
I need that confirmation. I don't want anything else from them besides that. That's all I want to get from the next direct, and I'll be happy.
I agree. Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think it's coming this year. It's just they've been really quiet about it. So I'm like, hey,
Too quiet. When was that trailer? Was it like? Has it been a year yet?
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while.
Absolutely, it really has been a while since then. So I thought that Persona 5 Royal was gonna get votes for most anticipated game of the rest of 2022, but it got 0 votes.
Wow, a bunch of Sony fanboys in the chat, probably. Or God of War.
So God of War won at 50%, Soul Hackers at 25%, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 at 25%. Actually, very shocked that...
you know why? Because all of us play Persona 5 already. So I was like,
that's pretty much it, yeah.
Yeah,
we all played it.
If you have a PlayStation, you definitely played Persona 5 Royal. Like, it just feels like it makes sense. Like, if you're in my channel, you definitely play Persona 5 Royal. Or at least watch the playthrough. I finally met someone that immediately told me, yeah, Persona 5. I watched the gameplay of it. I was like, oh. Play the game yourself. They're like, I only have a Switch. I'm like, oh, okay, well, you can just play it on the Switch, I guess. Yeah,
I'm probably gonna get it on Switch.
I'm gonna get it on PC. I'm only excited for mods.
I want to try it on Steam Deck.
Yeah,
Oh, that's gonna be
exactly.
hype.
Yeah, that and Steam Deck and mods. That's the only reason why I'm like, a PC version makes sense.
Mhm.
PS5, unless it's free, I'm not gonna get it on PS5. I'm sorry, Atlas. I'm
Yeah,
not willing to
I need
drop
that
another $60.
Yeah.
maybe on sale. 60 frames would be nice, but yeah, if I don't even know when I'm gonna replay it. The game's so long. I already beat it, the original OG P5N
Yeah,
Royal, so I
and
don't
that's
have
one
time for
thing
that.
that I'm worried about, because if you get the PS4 version of Yakuza Like a Dragon, and you get the PS5 version of Yakuza Like a Dragon, which by the way was free, um, there's no save file that you can import from one to the
Uh,
other.
that sucks.
So yeah, that really sucks. Yeah, especially for games like that, big RPGs that are like long and everything. I don't know. It's gonna be one of those things where like I'm very iffy about it, but right now I'm excited for God of War, obviously, and Soul Hackers. I think that those are like the ones that I'm like, okay, I'm definitely gonna get. And of course, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which we started talking about it earlier. That
I'm
game is
yeah.
very very exciting. I really love the first game, and this actually gives me vibes more of the first game than the second game, which is sounds like a good plan. Uh,
Yeah.
so very exciting. I think it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be selling super good. Because I feel like Xenoblade has grown exponentially, but now that we had so many like new people come in, because there's a lot of people that I've seen a lot of new people coming in. People recently just played the first one, like you, right, Devil? You just played the first game.
Yeah, I played 2 when it came out, like when the Switch came out the first year, but I never finished the first one. I finally caught up, and I plan to start Torna up this week, the standalone DLC for 2, and then I'll be pretty much all caught up.
I played
Nice.
two before the first one too.
Yeah.
I played them backwards. I played the first one first, and then I bought the second one later. So either way, I'm excited. I think I don't know. It was pretty good. I'm very excited for the rest of 2022. There is so many games to look forward, and that's why I really wanted to do this halfway through it, because as much as I want to say, I think there wasn't a lot of games on like you said, there was a lot of months where like, there was nothing really, right? Like
Yeah,
there was
there's like it's like all packed. It's like 2 months. It's like everything is in the same month, and it's like nothing for a couple months. Then it's like, oh, it's another busy month. So it's kind of
yeah,
not not spread out evenly.
I
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
hate when they do that. Why can't you just like drop games, like spread them out evenly? Like give me months every month to play, because I don't want to rush through like game after game after game and then not be play it or something. There was actually a game that I skipped earlier that I don't remember that I played, and I just remembered like, so awkwardly just now. I was just like, hey, I played that game. Back in February, I also played. Again, I blocked it completely, but I was kind of disappointed about it. Was it February that I played this game? Was it March? I
Is
don't
it
know.
Ghostwire Tokyo?
Ghostwire Tokyo. Yeah, I
Oh
completely forgot to
yeah.
talk about this game. I wanted to
Forgot about
rant
that.
about it for a little bit because it wasn't a good game, but I was mad because I bought the $100 digital collector's edition.
Damn.
Because I was that excited. Tango Game Studios is a good studio. Like I love
Like Evil Within.
the Evil Within games, and I was like,
Yeah.
dude, this is a Japanese style horror game, like on like by the same people. Like, how can this be bad? And I was like, no, this disappointed me so badly. But yeah, I mean that was that. But any other games you guys wanted to mention or talk about? Well, you have the space right now, the time.
Yeah, I'll do one. As your resident Falcom and Trails guy, I would be amiss to not bring up Trails from Zero, which is coming out in September. It's the arc that we never got. Finally got English translation, so that's really cool. It's going to be on everything. So yeah, a lot of Trails fans are excited about that one. So just want to give that a shout. And
Hell yeah!
the
By the
Valkyrie
way,
profile game
before
is
you
really
before
cool,
you
though.
we move on from that, I know that the names is Trails from Zero, but this is not Game Zero.
No, it's not it's not Yakuza 0. It's not the first game in the timeline. It's a start of another arc. I'm not gonna get into it. I'll probably maybe make a video on that to where to start.
I figured I will mention it because I have seen so many people say that, and myself, I had to ask you that too, right? Because I thought about picking it up. No, like
you can. I think you can play this one as your first one. It's not my recommendation, but you do play as a new set of characters, so you won't be too lost. But it's still in the timeline. It's not the beginning, so just to be aware. But I can still recommend you pick that up as one of your first Trails game. It's still really solid.
Right on. And you were going to mention another game?
The Valkyrie another Square Enix game, Valkyrie Profiles, something that just got a release date in September.
That's the PSP remaster, right?
No, it's a new game, but we're also getting the PSP game. So it's like it's a new game in the series, but they're also releasing the PSP game included in that bundle. I never played any game in that series, and it looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
so, Square Enix, man. I don't know how many people they got in their company. They just not pushing these games out like it's nothing.
Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
they really do. I don't know what's going on at Square Enix. The crunch must be real there. Like they must be making these people work really hard. I feel bad for them, but they're really cranking games really fast right now. So
I also want to say real quick, I'm not sure if I mentioned it earlier, but Sunbreak. I just bought Sunbreak yesterday. That's a game that been out for a few weeks now, or maybe a month or something. I can't remember. It's great. It's really good. I love the new mechanics, and I'm just now scratching the surface of what I can do and what the expansion has to offer. But yeah, that's gonna keep me busy for a while. So that's a great game too.
What is that game about? I had never heard of it.
Oh, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. My bad.
Oh,
it's like a Monster Hunter Iceborne. It's kind of like its own standalone.
Oh, okay, got it. I was like, what is that? I never heard of that. Okay.
I just started with Sunrise. My bad.
No worries, bro. You explain it well. I don't know why I was like thinking it was like something else entirely. Pretty cool stuff. Any future 2023 games you guys are looking forward to? And any final mentions or anything?
Final Fantasy, definitely Final Fantasy.
You remember when we say this year is supposed to be the best year ever in gaming? I think next year is going to be the best year ever.
I think so too. Breath of the Wild 2, Final Fantasy,
RE4
Bayonetta
remake, 3. Final. I hope Bayonetta's this year, but it could be next year.
Spider-Man
2, next Spider-Man game. Oh.
Yeah, it's gonna
Spider-Man. Oh my dude, I can't believe it. Believe it.
Yeah. There's so many stuff. 2023 is gonna be, because think about it. That's officially the year like after post-COVID, right? Because we're getting right now is everything that was worth doing in COVID, right? Everything that we're seeing right now is pretty much stuff that people worked through COVID.
They all been delayed, so it's like it's time for everything to come out.
Yeah. So 2023 is gonna truly be the year where they're gonna be cranking out the new stuff, post-COVID and everything. So very exciting stuff. I have so many games like you guys said, Final Fantasy. That's a big one for me. I really want to see Bayonetta. I mentioned it earlier. I'm just so excited for that. Resident Evil 4, the remake as well.
I recently beat 3, by the way, Devil.
Yay. Love it.
Nice. What'd you think?
I thought it's short, but I like Jill a lot. I like the story. Gameplay wise, it just felt like 2, but I like 2's gameplay already. So like I just thought it was great. Just really great game.
Right on.
Now I need to play Dead by Daylight because I know you're a big fan of that. That's how you found out about Jill, or I guess how you liked her, right? Yeah. So.
Nice. I never played Dead by Daylight, but I thought about it for the Silent Hill games.
Oh yeah, I love Heather Mason. She's a DLC in it, or unlockable.
Yeah.
Wait till I found out her name was actually Heather, because in Dead by Daylight it's just Cheryl. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, Dead by Daylight's a really good game.
Alrighty. Well, thank you everybody for showing up today at this Game Awards ceremony, if you will. It was pretty fun to chat with you guys about this. I know we talked about doing it kind of like, an hour and 30 minutes. So we're coming to a close now. If you guys want to check out both Riku's and Devil's channel, check them out. They're really good guys. You guys heard their thoughts today. They're really awesome dudes. And, check out their content. They do a little gaming, JRPGs, but all that stuff. That definitely, I feel like today is like the day where you can actually see what people are into. Because you really get to see like the different stuff that they played and everything. So check them out. They're really good dudes. Devil is trying to get to 1,500 subscribers. Is that right, Devil?
Yeah, if I get that by the end of the year, I'll do the whole AI Somnium dance from the second game. I'll practice dancing now.
All right,
I'll put it on
start
video.
practicing. We're gonna get you there soon. And Katana Riku, who also does a lot of reviews for but a lot of different games. Really, he really does JRPGs. I think the most. Is that what you do the most?
Yeah, mainly JRPGs. I like to cover both JRPGs, PlayStation, and Nintendo stuff. I'm still trying to. It sounds crazy, but I'm still trying to find like what works with my channel. And obviously, JRPGs is mainly it, but I've been also trying to like diversify my content and stuff like that. So
Understandable. There's only
work in
stuff
progress.
there's only so much I can go with a name like the Midnight Channel.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, kind of like I put myself some in a specific spot there. But yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this, guys. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys later. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.